comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast. I am DK Wrestler.
And I am MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, we actually don't have that many Funko Pops to talk about, to be honest, but that's also understandable because this past weekend was WonderCon. Funko was over at WonderCon in Anaheim, California. The Pops had released. I didn't get anything from WonderCon because there wasn't really anything I wanted. Yet there was a big surprise during that week that Funko last minute decided that the She-Ra Pop was going to be limited to 3,000 pieces with that Loungefly bag. So that was the first thing to sell out, even though I thought that was going to be the big shelf sitter of the entire con. Not only that, the only thing that was really great about this weekend was WrestleMania 38. Night 1 and night 2, or as they keep promoting it as the most stupendous 2-night event of the year. And yeah, that was a great time eating pizza all weekend. But other than that, we still got some pops announced for March 2022. And then we will have our segment, The Update, which will go into description of what that is in case you are new to the podcast when we get to that segment. And then we will talk about the first set of April 2022 Funko Pop announcements, which there are some pretty cool ones for April to kick off the month. So without further ado, we will kick off with the remaining Funko Pops, which range from March 28th to March 31st. So kicking off March 28th, Funko had announced a new pop for the WWE lineup, which is of Paul Heyman, in which it is a GameStop exclusive, and it's expected to release as early as August 2022. Then on March 29th, Hot Topic had announced their own exclusive pop of Beerus eating noodles from Dragon Ball Z, which that is available now online and in stores at Hot Topic. Then on March 30th, Amazon had announced their own exclusive pop VHS covers of Goofy from a Goofy movie, which that is available now to pre-order, but it's expected to release as early as June 2022. Then on March 31st, Funko had announced a pop comic covers of Moon Knight for the Marvel lineup, in which that's expected to release as early as September 2022. And last but not least, for the month of March 2022, Funko had announced a new set of Pride Pops for the It Gets Better project and a part of the Pops with Purpose program. I'm more than certain that's part of it. In which the Pops featured here, we have ourselves Poison Ivy, Robin, Harley Quinn, and then all three of those common Pops slapped into a 3-pack exclusive to Walmart, in which these are expected to release as early as June 2022. So kicking off with Paul Heyman for the WWE lineup, this pop's name is Paul Heyman, and he is a GameStop exclusive for the reigning, defending, undisputed. Okay, I'm not going to go down that road because I couldn't honestly think of anything off the top of my head that goes along with this. But it was really unexpected to wake up a nice Monday morning. Actually, Mondays aren't that nice. To see that there is a Paul Heyman pop coming up, which is pretty decent. He's wearing the ECW wrestling hat. He's got his ECW microphone. It's basically 1990s ECW, which I'm really curious, which I assume that they will add, that is his ponytail that he had in the past. Hopefully in the near future, there's going to be more Paul Heymans. Maybe if they make a 2-pack in the near future where it is like O2 Paul Heyman, and then he has like O2 Brock Lesnar with him, and it would be like a 2-pack like that. Because obviously I don't think we've seen the end of Brock Lesnar pops, even though we just got one announced that was an Amazon exclusive with the ponytail. I'm sure that they will make a Brock Lesnar from the Ruthless Aggression era in Funko Pop form. And I think it'd be cool if it was in a 2-pack with a, I guess, Ruthless Aggression Paul Heyman. I think that'd be really cool. There wasn't that much hype because unfortunately the hype was died down because all people could talk about this day was the infamous Will Smith slapping Chris Rock across the face. So people were saying, let's get a moment of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock across the face in Funko Pop form. But nonetheless, this pop is really cool and very unexpected. Something very refreshing because it's a manager and not a wrestler for the WWE lineup. Then we got ourselves Beerus eating noodles from Dragon Ball Z, and this is pretty decent. I mean, I don't really know the scene all that much in Dragon Ball Z because I barely watch anime as it is, but this is pretty decent. I mean, he's eating a bowl of ramen noodles. Who doesn't like ramen noodles? And he's also got his own like throne that he's sitting on. It's not like the Naruto eating noodles or the Goku eating noodles that Funko has made in the past, where it's just the Pop sitting on a ground. This Pop is sitting in some sort of seat or throne, which is pretty decent. And I don't exactly know how many people had bought in this or whether this was like a seller or a shelf sitter. Then we got a Goofy movie Pop VHS covers, which we kind of teased last week on the pod when we discussed about the Godfather VHS covers and then kind of going down the line of what's getting announced in order. And we did mention we couldn't talk about this until some sort of glam shot was officially posted, which it finally has by Amazon themselves. And this is pretty cool. I mean, I know a lot of people did like a Goofy movie. And I actually am pretty sure I have not seen a Goofy movie, which I know that's a little bit of a shocker there. But at the same time, I have such a busy life. I barely have time to even watch movies and TV series as it is trying to run this YouTube channel. Obviously, I'll watch it eventually. This is really cool. I really love the kind of box art going on with the trees and the grass and everything and how it goes well with the actual cover. I think it's pretty cool. I love the mold of Goofy right there. Goofy always translates pretty well into Funko Pop form, and I'm sure there's going to be a decent amount of people that are going to end up getting this VHS covers. And then we got ourselves the Moon Knight Pop comic covers, and this is pretty decent. I mean, talk about perfect timing, because I believe when this was announced, this was either the day of or the day after the Disney Plus series of Moon Knight had released with, I want to say, I don't know if it was one episode or they did what they usually do with like Disney Plus series and have like a 2-episode premiere, which I've not seen the Moon Knight yet, fortunately. This comic covers is pretty decent. I like the cover overall. And even though the pop is a little bit simplistic, I think the cover is what really makes up for it also. So you don't have to have it so detailed in terms of the pop. I don't know if this is going to be a big seller or not. I know there was some hype involved with this, but probably because of the fact of the Moon Knight Disney Plus series. And people were actually mentioning of wanting pops for that, which, spoiler alert, there is pops for that, and we will be talking about that later on in the podcast. And last but not least, we have ourselves the new Pride Pop, the DC Pride Pops here, and these are pretty decent. I usually like the Pride Pops. They look pretty decent, but I know that there is a little bit of mixed hype, which usually happens when it comes to these kinds of pops, because either they don't like the design of the rainbow, or there's people out there that just don't believe in like the whole Pride thing. These are okay. I mean, I feel like there were better Pride Pops as terms to waves in the past. I feel like there could have been more than just these 3 pops, or 4 technically if you count the 3-pack as 1 pop. I know that people were complaining about the Robin, because even though I think one of the comics, someone had mentioned that Robin did come out, that this version of Robin isn't the accurate one that portrays to that version of Robin. So there were people that were not hyped about that. But other than that, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, I guess in some of the comics, had came out. So it made sense for essentially them to be made into the Pride Pops, which a lot of people were hoping would happen with these Pride Pops, especially last year with the Deadpool Pride Pop. And I don't like, though, how they made a 3-pack that's just with the Walmart sticker, unless of course you are getting the 3 pops. Maybe just get the exclusive 3-pack.
Okay, starting off with Paul Heyman. This was really exciting to see. I was actually kind of surprised by seeing this, especially considering it was just like a singular WWE pop and it wasn't actually a new wave. And this is great. It is refreshing to see a manager rather than a actual superstar, I guess. And Paul Heyman is awesome. This is a great pop, kind of simplistic in the fact that it's kind of just a guy with a suit on, but it definitely does look like Paul Heyman. And I like the added details of actually showing that it's the ECW version of Paul Heyman when he obviously was in ECW, with the logo on the hat as well as on the microphone. I think that is really, really cool. And yeah, like DK said, that one of the first things that I wondered when I seen this is he going to have the ponytail behind the hat? And I would guess that he should, at least. So I'm super excited to see this hit up our local GameStop. I will definitely be buying it, and I wouldn't be surprised if DK is going to buy it as well, because this is great. Paul Heyman is one of the best managers of all time, and this pop is really cool, especially for being kind of a simple pop. Next, we have the Hot Topic exclusive Beerus eating noodles, and this is a really nice looking pop, actually. It's got a decent amount of detail, maybe not even detail, but just really good molding, I guess. I love how this pop looks, but I don't really think we need more Dragon Ball Z pops of characters eating noodles. We already have Goku, we have Vegeta. Obviously, for Naruto, there is the Naruto eating noodles as well. So it's kind of getting old at this point. When we got the Goku and the Naruto and the Vegeta, that was like, okay, this is decent for I guess variations of characters, but I don't know how many people are actually going to 100% need a Beerus eating noodles for their Dragon Ball collection. So that's the only gripe I have about this pop. Besides that, I do think it looks very cool. Then we have the next VHS covers, and that is a Goofy movie. And this is really cool. I really enjoy this. I have seen a Goofy movie, and I think that the pop looks great because obviously that is the way that Goofy is on the cover. And I mean, you can't really pick any other character besides Goofy to make as the pop for this. So I think they did a really good job. And obviously, Goofy usually translates very, very well into Funko Pop form, and it worked here again. Goofy Pops are very, very nice looking. So this is really cool. I will probably be getting this because I do want to get a lot of those VHS covers. Then we have the next comic cover, and that is Moon Knight. And I think that this looks really cool. I like the way that the cover looks itself. I think that there's a lot of different cool colors, like the white and the black of Moon Knight stand out very nice on the blue, and the yellow, I guess, are the main colors with the red for the title. So it stands out nice. And then the pop itself is pretty simplistic, but I think it did a good job. I think that maybe they could have added a little bit more black, or like shading, I guess is what it would be, on the pop itself, maybe towards like the forehead and the face of where the hood is. But besides that, I think that there's not much more you could do with this pop. So I think this is another one of those covers that it's like, okay, this is awesome. We're getting comic covers that are like accurate to the cover and actually look really good. And then lastly, we have the Pride Pops, and these are okay. I do think we've seen better Pride Pops because we've had a lot more licensors before, whereas this is kind of just DC. Whereas I think there was the one year there was Hello Kitty and SpongeBob, and there's been waves where there's different licensors and stuff for everyone. So I think that Funko should maybe stick with that instead of just doing one licensor like DC. Though these aren't bad pops at all, I just think it would make a little bit more sense if they branched out towards things that other people like as well. Like, let's say if you don't like DC, but you want Pride Pops, you might want to go back and buy some of the old ones rather than getting a new wave like this. And it's a little lackluster because there's only 3 pops, and then the 3-pack. I do like the idea of the 3-pack, but I also think that maybe just the 3-pack could have been the only thing, and they didn't even have to sell the separate pops considering they all are DC characters. But I do think that the 3 characters that they did make sense.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the update. For those brand new to the podcast, the update is a segment where essentially we update our top 10 list from last week because we are now officially over and done with March 2022 right now. So now with the pops we just talked about, we are able to essentially, like it says in the title, update our top 10 list to see if any of these pops make our top 10 list, which of course we are only going to mention essentially whatever gets put on our list depending on where it is placed. So example, if let's say the top 5 stays the same, then that will not be mentioned because that stays the same. And if you guys want to know about our previous top 10 list from last week, definitely check out last week's edition of a Funko podcast, which I'm going to go first. Usually it's MD Shady that goes first. And the only reason I'm going first is because for the first time, probably, or one of the only times ever, my list has not updated. Usually my list updates for the update, but this time it does not update. And there are some cool candidates like the Paul Heyman and then the Goofy movie pop VHS covers. But I felt like there were obviously some mixed hype. And then also the pops that I have, there is definitely quite a bit of detail, especially the number 10 pop had a lot of detail on my list The hype was a little off on all of these pops, essentially. So it was very hard to kind of place them in my top 10 list with how I do top 10 list of detail, personal reaction, and overall hype from the Funko Fanatics. So my list will not be updating this month. It will stay the exact same as last week. So if you guys want to listen to that, check out last week's podcast for my top 10 list.
All right, so I guess we will get to my update, and my list definitely did update. There is 2 new pops on this list. So starting off with, I guess, number 4 now coming in at is the GameStop exclusive Paul Heyman. I think it's cool to see a new WWE pop, especially when it is a manager like we talked about, and I think they did a great job on this pop. I would like to see a current day Paul Heyman, but I mean, ECW Paul Heyman is just so awesome. So I knew that this pop had to make the list. So because of Paul Heyman making number 4, it did move my top 10 out of the list, and my number 10 was a VHS cover. So I have to replace it. So now coming in at number 10 is the Amazon exclusive A Goofy Movie VHS cover. And I guess that would knock out the current number 9 spot. So now 4 and 10 are my 2 new slots of pops.
Are you looking for great pop protectors? Then look no further than popbox.ca. They have a variety of 4-inch and 6-inch protectors in different quantities. Do you want to get 10 protectors, 20? You can get even up to 250 pop protectors over on popbox.ca. And also use our promo code of Funko Popcast for 10% off of your entire purchase of pop protectors. The code is going on until supplies last. So go get your pop protector needs now over on popbox.ca using our code of Funko Popcast to get 10% off.
And let me tell you guys, we're not just screwing around here. These are some great pop protectors. We own a multitude of these protectors. They are some of the best I've seen. Stop buying from EB Games. I'm not boycotting EB Games by any means, but their pop protectors are not as good. So again, use code of Funko Popcast for 10% off.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the first set of April 2022 Funko Pop announcements, which range from April 1st until April 5th, which Funko was definitely bringing some heat during this past week with a decent amount since they are done with WonderCon. So kicking off April 1st, we have ourselves pops for the Disney Plus series Moon Knight, which there is only a pop of Moon Knight, which there's a common and a glow-in-the-dark Moon Knight that will be exclusive to Hot Topic, and these are expected to release as early as August 2022. On that same day, Entertainment Earth had announced their own exclusive pop of the Macho King Randy Savage for the WWE lineup, which that's expected to release as early as July 2022. Then on Saturday, April 2nd, Funko had confirmed on the Funko app of 3 pops that weren't previously announced. The first one being the limited to 2,000 piece Los Angeles Comic-Con exclusive Harry Potter for the 20th anniversary lineup, along with the 2 pops featured in the most recent edition of the Marvel Collector's Course subscription box, which we have ourselves a red translucent Scarlet Witch from WandaVision, and we have ourselves a dancing Baron Zemo from the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which, of course, that box had sold out, but should be back up on the Amazon website within the next couple of months for a little bit of a higher price. Then on Monday, April 4th, Funko had finally confirmed the Make-A-Wish Funko Pops that range with different licensors as terms to Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and of course Pixar, which the common pops featured here, we have ourselves BB-8 from Star Wars, Sully from Pixar's Monsters, Inc., Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, Minnie Mouse, of course, from Disney, and Spider-Man from Marvel, along with exclusive pops of Stormtrooper from Star Wars, which will be going to GameStop, Mickey Mouse from Disney, which will be a box lunch exclusive, Winnie the Pooh from Disney, which will be a Hot Topic exclusive, and Iron Man from Marvel, which will be a Funko Shop exclusive. And all of these pops are available now. And last but not least, for this week of Funko Pop announcements, Funko had announced on April 5th a new set of Jurassic Park Pops, which consists of 2 movie moments and 1 singular 4-inch pop, which the movie moments featured are a Tim Murphy with Velociraptors movie moment and Dr. Sattler with Triceratops pop movie moments, which both of these will be exclusive to Target. And then confirmed on the Funko app, Funko had confirmed a glow-in-the-dark Dilophosaurus, which will be a Jurassic World exhibition exclusive, and it's unknown at this moment of when these Jurassic Park Pops will be releasing. So kicking off with the Moon Knight Funko Pops, which, like I mentioned earlier, I have not seen the Moon Knight Disney Plus series. I've heard nothing but good things about it, which I'm probably going to watch it soon since there hasn't been that many episodes out and I can easily catch up. And the Pops we have here are pretty decent. I like the pose that's involved with, which is the mid kick, or the kick in mid-air, I should say. And the overall design of the way that his clothing is, or his attire, is pretty decent. It's something very different from what we normally see. And then I'm really excited to see if that glow in the dark pop turns out as well as the glam shot is showing, especially with the color like blue, which isn't all that great when it comes to glow in the dark and putting a black light to it, because of also the logos or kind of the added detail on the attire there for Moon Knight that kind of really pop out with that blue. Then we got the pop from Harry Potter, and this is okay. I can't exactly remember what scene this is from, but of course, this is from the very first movie because this past November, Harry Potter celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone in the US as terms to the movie. So they were pumping out pops for that, and they pumped out a 2,000 piece Harry Potter pop right here, which was pretty surprising. This is okay. I think there's definitely been better. Then we got ourselves the red translucent Scarlet Witch from WandaVision, which this is meh. Like, this is the same thing I'm going to mention with this, like I mentioned with, I believe it was the Diamond Collection, the Vision, that got announced a few months back, or it might have been near the end of last year, that I don't understand why Funko is making just repeats of already existing molds and just adding some sort of either color change or specification change instead of making characters that essentially we still want, like Darcy Lewis and Jimmy Woo. Why haven't we got pops of that? Why wasn't those one of the pops featured in this Marvel Collector's Core subscription box and we had to suffer and essentially get this? I can't even say it's all right. Like, I'm sick of these kind of variants, especially for these collector's boxes that people are barely buying because the pops aren't that great anymore. It's not what they once were. But I'm going to give a little bit of a pass for the Baron Zemo. Yes, we have had, I think, 1 or 2 Baron Zemo pops for the Falcon and Winter Soldier lineup, but this makes sense because this was one of those things that actually ended up becoming like a huge meme, and people were actually wanting a pop of Baron Zemo doing the dance here. So I guess Funko was listening to their fans at this point and finally gave us a Baron Zemo pop of him dancing. So I think this would be a little bit of the highlight of this box. I can't exactly remember what was inside of the box. I'm sure there was a t-shirt and some sort of decal, but I can't exactly remember what exactly was on those said items. Then we got ourselves the Make-A-Wish pops, which I thought about doing a video on the channel about this, but I wasn't sure if I was able to, I guess, talk about these for as long as I would have wanted to. So I thought I would save it for here on the podcast, which these are pretty decent. Make-A-Wish Foundation is a well-known organization, especially if you are a fan of WWE. A lot of WWE superstars are a part of that, especially John Cena granting over 500 wishes, which I think is the most wishes ever granted by a celebrity. Making pops is pretty cool. It's a cool way for pops with purpose. And especially the variety of characters, like I guess MD mentioned about the Pride Pops and how there should be a variety of characters. We got that here with this set of pops with purpose with Make-A-Wish Foundation, which I like the idea of them being blue, obviously, because that is, of course, the color of the Make-A-Wish Foundation logo. I'm surprised that all of them released like literally around the same time. Even Hot Topic in Canada actually got the Winnie the Pooh in just in time for when this pop got announced, because usually Canada is like a couple weeks behind as terms to getting exclusives from Hot Topic compared to the US. And then we got ourselves the Jurassic Park pops, which these are pretty cool. I like these movie moments, especially because you're getting more bang for your buck, because not only do you have one character with the Tim Murphy, I think his name was, but you also get some of the Velociraptors. I think I remember this scene a little bit when watching Jurassic Park. And then I do remember the scene involving the Triceratops also. I think that's really cool that Funko finally made some sort of movie moments involving that. And then the glow-in-the-dark Dilophosaurus is also pretty decent. Really intrigued to see maybe some photos or videos of when people get this to see how that glow actually turns out. Will it look like this or will it look very different? Oh, and I guess I forgot to mention, because of course it was the last photo I sent because I'm dumb and forgot to send it, is the Macho King Randy Savage, which I might as well end off on a high note. Ooh, yeah, Macho King Randy Savage. This is really cool. I love the fact that they actually made a Macho King Randy Savage pop. Didn't even think at the top of my mind that for another Randy Savage variant that they would do the Macho King, and it's just so perfect. I mean, you got the crown there. It says Macho. He's holding the scepter, and he's wearing his exact attire from, I believe it's WrestleMania 6 in his match against the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And this is really cool. I think I might actually end up getting this since I don't have a Randy Savage pop in my collection. And I think this would be a cool addition for the collection for three reasons. First, it's Macho Man Randy Savage as the Macho King, which is awesome. Number two, I don't have a pop in my collection with an Entertainment Earth exclusive sticker. So this may be the first pop that I actually have in my collection that will have that Entertainment Earth exclusive sticker. And with the video that Entertainment Earth actually posted, there will also be another sticker added to it, a WrestleMania 6 sticker added to the top of the Entertainment Earth exclusive sticker, which I think would be sweet. WrestleMania 6 being a WrestleMania that happened about an hour and a half away from us in Toronto, Canada. So pretty cool. I can't wait to get this pop.
Okay, so we finally have a pop for the new Disney Plus Moon Knight series, and I think it looks pretty cool, though we actually haven't seen Moon Knight technically in this pose in the series yet. I do think that this is cool, and it's a good pop that they can put out without any spoilers and kind of keep fans happy. So this is really cool. I'm glad to see that there's a common version and there is the Hot Topic exclusive version, which is glow in the dark. I think I might end up keeping my eye out for one of those glow in the dark ones at our local Hot Topic. And if I do see one, I'll probably end up picking it up because so far I am enjoying the Moon Knight series. And I think that this pop is going to look cool. The glow might not be the best, but I don't think it'll necessarily be terrible. And there's a lot of detail on these pops too. I mean, Moon Knight is one of those characters where he has kind of a decent amount of detail to his attire. So I'm glad to see that they did a good job on this pop. So that's cool. Then we have the 2000 piece Harry Potter pop, and this is okay. I kind of remember this. I haven't watched Harry Potter in so long, but I do think that this is cool, and it's decent that it's 2000 pop or 2000 pieces, because without that, I don't think there'd be a lot of hype around this pop. It's just we've seen so many Harry Potter pops, so it being a limited piece and generally pretty low, 2000 is a pretty low number, I guess. I think that people are going to want to get this, especially if you are a super collector of Harry Potter, and if you have like every Harry Potter pop, this is definitely a piece that you're going to want, and maybe even a holy grail for your collection. Next up, we have the pops for the Marvel Collectors Corp, and the Scarlet Witch is definitely pretty bad. It's not great. I understand why they made this variant, but I don't think we needed it. I don't think anyone is going to be super pumped about this pop. I don't think it looks terrible. I just don't think it's needed at all, especially in a box like this where the pops are kind of on the decline in the last couple of years. And then we have the Baron Zemo, and I've actually yet to watch all of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I've only watched the first episode, I believe, maybe the first two. I don't exactly remember. But when I first saw this pop without the box, just the glam shot, I definitely thought it was Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker doing the infamous dance from Spider-Man 3, I think it is. And I was like, whoa, no way, it's actually happening. And then I saw the glam shot of the box and I was a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie. We definitely want Tobey Maguire pops. So it's upsetting that that's not what we're getting here. But I do think this is a good pop, especially if people have been wanting this character dancing like this. Next up, we have the Make-A-Wish pops, and these are phenomenal. These are really gorgeous pops. I really enjoy the concept of these pops. I really enjoy the execution of how they were done. These are so awesome. I really enjoy these. I like how there's a lot of different characters. I mean, we have 2 Star Wars characters, we have 5 Disney characters, and then we have 2 Marvel characters as well. So there's a good selection of things, all obviously all being under the like Disney license, I guess you could say. This is really cool. I really enjoy this. I think that these pops are just so nice looking. I really want to buy all of them, but I know that that's not something I can do. I don't have the space to buy this many pops for a set like this. What is this, 9 pops here? But I will definitely at least be getting one, and it'll probably be the Spider-Man because I have been really collecting a lot of Spider-Man pops recently. But I wouldn't be surprised if I also bought the Sully because I do think the Sully looks really good. I like the idea of having these pops all be blue, and honestly, they could have just stopped at that. Just have them in these like blue variants, but because they're metallic with these different colors of like the light and dark blue and the like super light blue, I guess you could say, which is almost like a gray color. These are just really cool. I really love these pops a lot. And I hope we see a lot more Make-A-Wish pops like this over the years, because I think that if you collected every single Make-A-Wish pop as they come out over the years, I think that that would look really, really awesome on a shelf. Then we have new Jurassic Park pops, especially with these movie moments. These are also very nice looking pops. These are just gorgeous sets. It's amazing to see what Funko has done with movie moments, where originally when we got movie moments, it was like, oh, this is really cool because we haven't seen anything like this from Funko pop wise. But nowadays, just the movie moments are just so much more detailed. They don't look as what would be the best way to describe this? Like, the way I could think of it is like originally when we were getting movie moments, we were getting like Star Wars ones, I think, and it kind of just looked like a couple of pops on a base. But now these actually look like they're straight out of the movie and then popified. So these are really cool, and I think that any Jurassic Park fan is definitely going to want these just because of how nice they look. And then we have the singular Jurassic Park pop, and I think that the movie moments definitely overshine this pop, but I do think that this is a cool pop as well. We get that really cool Jurassic World sticker, and the glow on this pop is a glow that we haven't really seen. So I definitely want to see this in person because I want to see what that glows like, because I think that this could be a subtle glow that people are actually going to like, rather than when you have pops that are glow in the dark. Let's say, for instance, the Moon Knight with the blue, where the blue's not going to glow very well, but because this is green, but kind of a weird like glow to it as well, I think it's going to look really cool. And then lastly, we have the Entertainment Earth exclusive Macho King. And this thing is so cool. I really enjoy the Macho King. I think that this pop looks great. Macho King's awesome. I really enjoy Macho Man to begin with, but Macho King was such an awesome gimmick. And this pop looks great. And obviously, it is the attire from WrestleMania 6, which is cool. And I'm excited to see the sticker that they put on the box that DK was talking about, because I think that that will be an awesome sticker for collectors, especially if you are a WWE fan. And I think I'm definitely going to have to pick up this pop.
Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed this week's edition of a Funko Popcast, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comments section below and let us know what your favorite pops were from this past week. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you guys haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at a Funko Popcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this week's edition of a Funko Popcast, and we hope to see you guys next week. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Well, hiya, pal.
Peace in, peace out.